Donald Trump attacks Slimeball, reporter in War Dead Row. U.S. President Donald Trump has described as a slimeball a journalist who quoted him as saying dead U.S. soldiers were losers and suckers. He likened the Atlantic magazine report to unproven accusations made against him of colluding with Russia to win the presidential election of 2016. The damning quotes were confirmed independently by the Associated Press. Veterans groups are among those condemning Mr. Trump, less than 2 months from the 2020 election. Progressive group Vote Vets posted a video of families whose children had been killed in action. "You don't know what it is to sacrifice," says one. Paul Rieckhoff of the Iraq-Afghanistan Veterans of America tweeted, "Who is really surprised by this?" A small group of protesters waved placards at the president's motorcade on Saturday near the Trump National Golf Club in Virginia. Mr. Trump has often staked a claim to strong support among the military, and last year Pew Research Center found that veterans were generally supportive of him as commander-in-chief, with 57 in favor. 3/5 of the veterans identified as Republican, the research found. What is Trump reported to have said? According to The Atlantic, when Mr. Trump cancelled a visit to the Ain Marne American Cemetery outside Paris in November 2018, 100 years after the end of World War I, he said it was filled with losers. 4 sources told the magazine he had rejected the idea of visiting because the rain would dishevel his hair, and he did not believe it important to honor America's war dead. During the same trip, the president also allegedly referred to 1,800 U.S. soldiers who died at Belleau Wood as suckers. The battle helped to prevent a German advance on Paris during World War I and is venerated by the U.S. Marine Corps. The Atlantic's reporting was based on anonymous sources, but a senior Defense Department official with first-hand knowledge of events, and a senior U.S. Marine Corps officer who was told about Trump's comments, confirmed the cemetery comments to AP. In 2018, the White House said the cemetery visit had been cancelled because bad weather had grounded the president's helicopter. This account was backed up in a recent book by President Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton, who has been a vocal critic of Mr. Trump. The U.S. Navy also said it cancelled the trip to the cemetery because of rain in response to a request under the Freedom of Information Act from BuzzFeed reporter Jason Leopold. How did Trump react? Without referring to Jeffrey Goldberg, the author of the Atlantic report, by name, he tweeted on Saturday, "You work so hard for the military, from completely rebuilding a depleted mess that was left by Biden, the previous presidential administration when Joe Biden was vice president to Barack Obama, to fixing a broken VA and fighting for large-scale military pay raises, and then a slimeball reporter, maybe working with disgruntled people, makes up such a horrible charge. This reminds me of the dirty dossier, the Steele dossier, which alleged collusion with Russia, which was pushed hard by John McCain, then with a thud turned out to be a total fraud. So many other scams also. The radical far left is vicious. They will do or say anything to win. But they won't. We will win, have 4 great years." Mr. Trump went on to attack another journalist, Jennifer Griffin of Fox News, normally one of the president's favorite news outlets. Griffin had reported disparaging remarks about the U.S. military allegedly made by Mr. Trump on other occasions, such as calling soldiers who fought in the Vietnam War suckers. Jennifer Griffin should be fired for this kind of reporting, Mr. Trump tweeted. Never even called us for comment. Fox News is gone. White House officials have either denied the remarks allegedly made on the trip to France or stressed the president's respect for the military. What are Trump's opponents saying? Mr. Biden, the Democratic challenger in the 3rd of November election, said his rival was unfit to lead. Mr. President, if you don't respect our troops, you can't lead them, he tweeted. If elected, he said, he would ensure that our American heroes know that I will have their back and honor their sacrifice. Always. News from BBC. Please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.